human that they were supposed to be too addicted to gossip, and they certainly kept up their acquaintance with the affairs of other people. They had friends in every country, in every town, and it was not their fault if people told them their secrets. Dexter Freer was a tall, lean man with an interested eye and a nose that rather drooped than aspired, yet was salient withal. He brushed his hair, which was streaked with white, forward over his ears and into those locks represented in the portraits of clean-shaven gentlemen who flourished 50 years ago, and wore an old-fashioned neckcloth and gaiters. His wife, a small plump person, rather polished than naturally fresh, with a white face and hair still evenly black, smiled perpetually, but had never laughed since the death of a son whom she had lost 10 years after her marriage. Her husband, on the other hand, who was usually quite grave, indulged on great occasions in resounding mirth. People confided in her less than in him, but that mattered little, as she confided much in herself. Her dress, which was always black or dark grey, was so harmoniously simple that you could see she was very fond of it. It was never smart by accident or fear. She was full of intentions of the most judicious sort, and though perpetually moving about the world, had the air of waiting for every one else to pass. She was celebrated for the promptitude with which she made her sitting-room at an inn, where she might be spending a night or two, appear a real temple of memory, with books, flowers, photographs, draperies rapidly distributed. She had even a way, for the most part, of not failing of a piano. The place seemed almost hereditary. The pair were just back from America, where they had spent 3 months, and were now able to face the world with something of the elation of people who have been justified of a stiff conviction. They had found their native land quite ruinous. "There he is again," said Mr. Freer, following with his eyes a young man who passed along the Row, riding slowly. "That's a beautiful thoroughbred." Mrs. Freer asked idle questions only when she wanted time to think. At present she had simply to look and see who it was her husband meant. "The horse is too big," she remarked in a moment. "You mean the rider's too small," her husband returned. "He's mounted on his millions." "Is it really millions?" "7 or 8, they tell me." "How disgusting!" It was so that Mrs. Freer usually spoke of the large fortunes of the day. "I wish he'd see us," she added. "He does see us, but he doesn't like to look at us. He's too conscious. He isn't easy." "Too conscious of his big horse?" "Yes, and of his big fortune. He's rather ashamed of that." "This is an odd place to hang one's head in," said Mrs. Freer. "I'm not so sure. He'll find people here richer than himself, and other big horses in plenty, and that will cheer him up. Perhaps, too, he's looking for that girl." "The one we heard about? He can't be such a fool." "He isn't a fool," said Dexter Freer. "If he's thinking of her, he has some good reason." "I wonder what Mary Lemon would say," his wife pursued. "She'd say it was all right if he should do it. She thinks he can do no wrong. He's immensely fond of her." "I shan't be sure of that," said Mrs. Freer, "if he takes home a wife who'll despise her." "Why should the girl despise her? She's a delightful woman." "The girl will never know it, and if she should it would make no difference. She'll despise everything." "I don't believe it, my dear. She'll like some things very much. Every one will be very nice to her." "She'll despise them all the more. But we're speaking as if it were all arranged. I don't believe in it at all," said Mrs. Freer. "Well, something of the sort, in this case or in some other, is sure to happen sooner or later," her husband replied, turning round a little toward the backwater, as it were, formed, near the entrance to the park, by the confluence of the 2 great vistas of the Drive and the Row. Our friends had turned their backs, as I have said, to the solemn revolution of wheels and the densely packed mass of spectators who had chosen that aspect of the show. These spectators were now agitated by a unanimous impulse, the pushing back of chairs, the shuffle of feet, The rustle of garments and the deepening murmur of voices